just getting back from my beautiful vacation in Mexico, and I call it vacation because I love it, and um, it's always a vacation when you're learning and going to new places to me. And I just wanted to bring back what I really got out of it, and it was just the basics like water. So they're in really, really high demand for water. They have none. Their source is usually from a river, and so it comes from rain. And so they're dried up. They've only had like one rainfall in the entire season. And the necessity of water, right? Earth is made of 70% water, just like our body, our temple. So we're like a little replica of Earth, right? So we're the same thing. And when we don't have water, we don't have life. And so that's why it's so important to drink water. The girl that, my friend that lives out there that was taking me around, that was being so gracious, she was like, you drink so much water. And I'm like, yeah, we're 70% water. We need water to function, for everything to flow. If not, nothing's gonna flow. And we're, constantly getting toxins, right? Just from the environment, from, man-made products. There's different ways of getting those toxins because, everything we eat, we are, right? As well. So you can get toxins in food. And also, our skin. Our skin is the largest living organism on us, right? And we're like little solar panels. So we absorb everything. So that's why it's also so important to be out in the sun, in moderation, because everything has to be a balance. Everything has to be very moderate. So 20 minutes is good because anything in abundance is also not good, right? So getting back to the water situation, and flowing, needing that water, people don't, in Mexico, they not only are in need of water, but their options to take themselves. No one drinks water over there. It's like they drink soda, they drink coffee, or they drink alcohol. That's it. And I'm talking about children as well. I mean, kids will drink milk, but even you'll see babies under the age of 1 that are drinking soda. And now the labels in Mexico, the Coca-Cola, not only Coca-Cola, but most of the high sugar drinks have a big old label saying warning in Mexico, and they're giving it to their kids. And then the kids are like running amok, super hyper. Well, of course the kids can't handle, that synthetic sugar, and they're not getting water. So it's very important, when in 2020, when the pandemic hit, it took a lot of people in those towns. Again, I mean, they were, I guess, there was a high number. Everybody knew someone that had passed away, and it was, again, they didn't have that alkaline body, and the reason it wasn't alkaline is because they don't have that flow of water to alkaline and remove some of those toxins, because we can only remove them by passing them through the liver, sweating them out, and that all intakes water, right? So we need to drink water. And for some reason, and I know the reason actually, in Mexico, the reason they don't drink water is because at one point in their life, it was like, if you drink water, it's because you don't have money for a soda, or you don't have money for beer, you don't have money for something else. So it was looked more like you just kind of like being in a statue, and now you're kind of addicted to it. You like that sugary taste because that's how it's made, so that the consumer can be addicted to it, right? So all those things, when you're putting all those things, toxins in your body willingly, because it's willingly, we make the choice of ordering those things, of buying those things, of giving those things to our children. We have to stop. God gave us will, God gave Adam and Eve will, and gave them this choice. You want to know, you want to do this, go ahead and do it. And he allowed us to do this because of course he's God Almighty. He could have stopped us from doing it, but he said, no, I'm giving you will. Now you learn from your actions, because there's a reaction, there's a consequence that's going to come with it. Now you learn from it, right? And now you can grow from it, or you can continue to make the same mistake. And that's what's been happening. That's why they say that we have we carry 7 generations back and 7 generations forward, because what we do today will affect the future and the past. Our actions have a butterfly effect, right? So we have to take action. And so that's what I do on these trips. I truly do my research. God puts me there. God gives me that opportunity. I live by N.O.A.H, which N.O.A.H is a story. I have these little mosquitoes and bugs and stuff that love my plants. But I live by N.O.A.H, which N.O.A.H is N-O-A-H, N for nutrition. So we have to start with what we put in our body, how we take care of our body, give it the water that we need. Be careful with, you know, what we surround ourselves with, right? Who we hang out with, because everything is very, we tend to do what we see, right? You know, there's a famous saying, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. You know, birds of a feather flock together, right? So you tend to get those, you know, things, you know, you start doing the same thing as them. So you want to surround yourself with, you know, positive people that tend to look at life for the beauty. So we have to start with N for nutrition, and what, you know, take accountability for our temple, our body, in every aspect, even what we listen to, what music, right? Because God gave us something very important, like a voice. That's, you know, one of the main things, one of the things that separates us from animal. We have this voice. It's a gift. You know, I always bring this up, abracadabra, you know, it's like making magic. Abracadabra, the exact translation of abracadabra is, as I speak, I create. We're creators. We got that little, you know, gene that God put that makes us his children, right? So we're creators like him. That's why we're so creative, and we're constantly creating. And if we're not creating, then we're destroying for just the naturaleza. That's just what happens with us. So first we have to start with nutrition. So we have to start getting accountability with our temple, with what we put in our body, you know, meditating, praying, connecting with self. That's N for nutrition. That's the first one. Then there's O for opportunity, because God puts opportunities in front of you every single day, but you have to be aware and willingly want to accept those opportunities. And then after you see them, there's A for action and accountability, because now you have to take action. You cannot just dream or just see the opportunities and not do nothing about it. You have to take the action, the steps, right? And accountability, because there's an accountability to everything, and that's why we learn from those things, or we keep repeating the lessons until we learn them. And then the last one is H for history, because we need to know our history, where we came from, to know where we're going. And that's what I've been doing on these trips. I'm learning my history, our history, his history, through not only books but actually seeing it, walking it, and bringing it to you. Because in order for me to give you something, I have to be it, right? And we've literally been in the more of the being state, which is the masculine, for 6,000 years. It's more of the doing, and now we're entering the stage of being, and that's what I'm doing. I'm letting God guide me to where I need to be, and I live my life, and I bring these experiences to you to inspire for you to use these tools, for you to live by N.O.A.H, which to me, N.O.A.H represents, let's start from scratch, right? That's it. Because when the story of Noah, when the flood came, was to start from scratch, because there was just too much chaos. There was just too much negativity in the world. And that's kind of where we're at right now. We're seeing the truth. We are in the time of revelation. That's called, revelations means truth. It's something's being revealed. Apocalypse means the truth. So all these words, now we actually hear their meaning, and we understand where we're at. Because in this time, we're all uniting, and we're all learning the truth together. It's like every walks of life, every religion, and the reason for it is because religion is of man, but they has some truth. But the most of it, the majority is spiritual, and the other percentage is of man. So it's of ego. So that's not of God, because you're just following one person that it was their truth. You got to follow your truth, right? And I know it's nobody wants to promote for you to follow your truth, because it's kind of hard for them to control many individuals that are different, right? It's easier for them to control a mass that's the same, right? So that's why they always shut you down by imposing, like in Mexico, everybody takes some sort of medication, which is very, very, very high in fluoride, in heavy metals, I should say. Yeah, heavy metals that calcify your third eye. Well, your third eye is your intuition. It is our connection to self. So if you're taking medication for depression because now they're saying you're depressed, then now you're calcifying your third eye. Now you can't see your truth, but you'll follow somebody else's. So it's easier to manipulate, right? And so that's the times that we're in. We're in the times of everybody seeing the truth, knowing the truth, and now living your truth. So if you use the tools that not only help me, but so many others to look from within, you know, Jesus was the prime example. He came here as a true, you know, envision of God, right? His son. And he did all these things. And I'll tell you, I thrive to be anything minute like Jesus, because Jesus was love. I am human. You know, every day I have to get up and try to be a better person, but I'm human, you know? I have that little spirit of God, but I am not like, you know, the son, because I have not lived that way. I fall constantly. But anyways, he's a true example of what love was. And that's what we all thrive to be love, because that's the only truth. Again, I go back to, you know, we've been in this masculine state for 6,000 years. Now we're entering the feminine side, and it's bringing balance. So now it's finding who we truly are. And how we do that is by respecting our temple. So starting from scratch, intermittent fasting is the most amazing thing you can do, and it cleans you up right away. Because if your stomach is completely full of food all the time, and you wake up and you start eating, then your liver is only going to be processing food and doesn't have time to start processing the toxins. And that's what's happening here in the United States. We have so much abundance. Like, it's just overbearing. Like, I saw the difference between the burritos in Mexico and burritos, what we call burritos here. Here, they're literally burritos, like humongous burritos, this big, one big one. Over there, they're little tortillitas, they're little tiny ones. And I was like, that's the burrito. You know, they're, here, it's just so much abundance that we're getting poisoned. And if you see in history, and that's why I said it's so important to look through history. If you look through history, we're living less and less and less years, you know. From the beginning of time, it was like 400 or 500 years, then 200 years. And now the average in the United States is 78, okay? 78 years old. So it's time we do something, you know. I'm going to be 50 this year. I feel amazing. I am not living for Nora anymore. I am living for my true self, and that's, you know, my spirit. And I'm guided by God every day, right? Since I'm human and I can fall. As soon as I wake up, I do my prayer. You know, God, bless my eyes so I can see what you want me to see. You know, what the beauties you want me to see. Bless my throat so I can speak righteously. Bless my heart so I can hear your message clearly. Bless my hands so I can create beautiful things. And bless my feet. May it take me where I need to be. So, como dicen, yo me dejo llevar por Dios y que sea lo que Dios quiera. Porque uno dispone y pues Él dispone. So we have our plan, but He has His own plan. And the beauty of it is that in this time of Revelations, we're in a time where we rewrite. At the end of Revelations, we're living the 1,000 years of peace and harmony on earth, and that is unwritten. It doesn't show exactly how it's going to be, so it's our truth, how we're writing it, and that's a beautiful thing. And we're going to hold it for 1,000 years because we can show the stories and share those stories to our future generations. But there's going to be a point that they're not going to believe that it really used to be that bad, and they're going to think, okay, let's really see if this is, you know, bad, and they will start doing it. It's a never-ending cycle. It's infinity, guys. It's a 6-year cycle in 4. So 6 times 4 cycles, which is the golden era, the silver era, the iron era. No, gold, silver, iron, and bronze. Sorry, I almost forgot. So it's gold, silver, bronze.